A very good morning, class 10 students. I welcome you all on this online platform provided by Jagriti Classes. We are doing chapter 10th of class 10, that is light, reflection and refraction. So we have done some important definitions and some concepts related to reflection. So now we'll be doing an important topic which is ray diagrams. I have discussed some brief introduction about ray diagrams in the previous lesson also. So we'll be starting again with the ray diagrams here. So this is the table which is given in your books for concave mirror. And you have to learn the table. I explained you the concepts of this table in the previous video lecture. And according to these tables, you have 6 cases in the table. That is, you have different positions of object. And accordingly to the positions of object, you have different positions of the image. Then you are given with the nature and size of image. So here, because you have 6 cases for the object and the image position, in turn you have 6 figures here. These are known as ray diagrams. Okay. So you will definitely get a question to draw the ray diagrams, and you will get a question like, make a ray diagram for concave mirror when the object is placed at F. That is, when the object is placed at focus of the concave mirror. And then you have to draw the diagram. Also you would be asked that also tell the size and nature of image, which you will tell from these 2 columns. So when you learn this table, then only you can easily form the ray diagrams. Now I will describe, we have done the rules for making the ray diagrams. That is, you can draw 4 kinds of lines. If you draw a line, these light rays always comes from the object, and the object is generally represented by an arrow which is called AB, and the image formed is represented by A dash B dash. So here this is the image formed, okay, and this was the object. So what you have to do, how you have to start making these diagrams, that we'll discuss. So we are discussing the first case, that is when the object is placed at infinity, the image is formed at focus. So let's see how you have to make these ray diagrams, how you can learn them. So firstly we are doing for concave mirror. So firstly, for whatever mirror you are doing, you have to draw that kind of shape. Okay, concave mirror is this sort of, we represent concave mirror diagrammatically in this manner. So this is a concave mirror. Then after drawing the mirror, what you have to draw is, you have to draw a straight line which is passing from the exact center. Okay, you can make it approximately at the center, and this straight line is your principal axis. Now you should remember the terms, the pole of the mirror, principal axis, focus, center of curvature. We have discussed them, okay, in great detail. So you have to draw the mirror. We have drawn the concave mirror because firstly we are discussing all the ray diagrams related to our concave mirror. Then always you have to draw a straight line passing from the approximate center of the mirror, and label this point to be the pole of mirror. Then next you have to draw what? You have to place the object now. Okay, you make a point at the exact or approximate center. If I complete this, see, if I make a sphere of this mirror, then the center of this sphere would approximately lie here. So now you don't have to make this sphere. What you have to do, you have to mark a point C, which is center of curvature, on this principal axis. It is an imaginary point, you can mark it approximately anywhere. Okay. Now next is what? Now let's see where the object is placed. In the first position, the object is placed at infinity. So we'll place the object at infinity, and then we'll make accordingly that where the image should be formed. So see, in the first case, our object is placed at infinity and the image should be formed at focus. So we'll just see 2 of these columns, and the image formed is very point sized. It is real and inverted. So accordingly, we'll make the diagrams. This is the principal axis. The object is placed at infinity. For depicting infinity, you have to make these kind of dotted lines. And the light rays always comes from the object itself. So accordingly, we'll place the object at infinity, and no need here to draw the object. You can assume these dotted lines. So these dotted lines would be coming from what? They would be coming from infinity, and they would be striking the mirror. So let's suppose you have these two lines which are coming from the infinity. And then you have to make the arrows to symbolize the direction. These have a right hand side direction. So these are coming from the object, and these two incident rays are parallel to the principal axis. So rule 1 states that if any ray which is parallel to principal axis, then after reflection from the mirror, it would pass through the focus. So when these rays get deflected, after reflection, they would pass from the focus itself. So these would pass in a similar manner. And do not forget to draw their directions. And wherever these rays meet, you will call that point to be focus. Now I told you at least you have to make two kinds of lines. According to rule 1, we made that one ray which was parallel to principal axis, it is passing through the focus. Now you can make any other ray. That is about the 4 rules which we studied. So in the diagram, you are only given 2 parallel rays which are meeting to focus. So in a similar manner, you can make other, see, you can also make one parallel ray which is coming from infinity, and after reflection, this ray will also meet at focus. This is also coming from the object that is from infinity. So this gives you a first ray diagram. That is, now what you have to write? You have to write the position of object. So position of object, that is object was at infinity. Now you have to write position of image formed. So the image is formed at focus where all the rays are intersecting. So image is formed at the principal focus. Now you have to write the size of image. Okay, so size is very point sized. So size of image is point sized. And now you have to give the nature of image. So the nature of image would be real and inverted. That is, the image which would be formed on focus, it would be real and inverted. So in this manner, you have to make the ray diagrams. Now we'll be discussing one more case. I think that would clear your concepts. Let's see. Okay, let's take this fourth or the third one. When the object is placed at C, then image should also be formed at C. Now there is one problem, that is the children place the object at C, and then when they draw the lines, it does not intersect at C. But these are experimentally proved results, so you have to draw them accordingly. If whenever the object in experiments is placed at C, the image is always obtained at C. Okay? So according to the table, you have to make your diagram. Let's try to make the diagram. When the object is placed at C. So here object is placed at center of curvature denoted by C, and image should also be formed at C. The image should be of same size to that of object, and then the image should be real and inverted. All this information we get from the table itself. So I told you we are discussing the ray diagrams of concave mirror. So now if you are required to draw the diagram or according to these points, firstly draw the mirror. So we have drawn the concave mirror. No, this is not complete. For drawing concave mirror, you have to paint it from the outer side because you should have only the inner reflecting surface. Then we are required to draw a straight line passing from approximate center of the mirror and the point, this point would be called as the pole. So you have to draw a principal axis, and then you have to draw a point, that is you have to name the point at the middle of the mirror as pole. Now next is what you have to place the object at C. So I told you, whenever you are starting with the diagram, make the mirror, draw a straight line which is your principal axis, mark the point pole here, okay? Pole is this point on the mirror that is present on the middle of the mirror. And then you have to mark a point that is center of curvature. Center of curvature would be what? If I complete this sphere, then center would come approximately at this position. And remember, between center and pole you have a point focus. So after drawing this, you have to draw your object at C. So let's suppose this, I draw my object at C. Okay, and I will name my object to be AB. So this is AB is my object which is positioned at C. Now when the object is present at center, then the image is also formed at the center, but this image is real and inverted. So it means, now let's start drawing the lines. So I told you light rays would come from the object. So this is the first light ray which is coming from the object towards the mirror, and after reflection from the mirror, this light ray will pass through the focus. So let's suppose this is the direction of light ray. This light ray is coming from the object. After reflection, it is passing from the focus. Now you can also draw one more light ray. I'm just extending this light ray, okay? Now you can also draw one more light ray, and it could be what? Using any of the four rules. Like you can draw a light ray which is now passing through focus. So after passing through focus, after reflection, it would become parallel. This was rule 2. Whenever a light ray passes through the focus, after reflection, it becomes parallel. So we can use this light ray, that is this light ray is passing through the focus, and now when it passes through the focus after reflection, it would become parallel. And see, when we make these light rays, now both these light rays are intersecting where? These are intersecting before, but I need the image should form at this position. But these are intersecting it at this point. So this will require a lot of practice. So now you have to adjust these light rays that it should intersect not at this point but at the required point. So how do we adjust it? See. You can make this sort of light rays, and then they'll intersect at the required position, wherever you required them to intersect. Okay, so this would this would give you the correct ray diagram. See, now the light rays, if I now remove the object from here, now the light rays coming from the object. This one was your first light ray. This was the first ray. After reflection, see, it moved from the focus. Okay, now also these light rays should move. This should intersect somewhat here at this point. So this would be the focus. This point is the center. And now when these light rays parallel, so they pass through the focus. When the light ray passes through the focus, they become parallel to the principal axis. And now the object formed or the image formed is in this manner. So this gives you a diagram for formation of image. And see, for making the diagrams, I'm telling you, you will be requiring a lot of practice. Then only you will be able to form the correct diagrams. One trick is also there to form, not actually a trick, a method. Draw the mirror, draw the principal axis. Okay, see, if you draw the mirror and then you draw the principal axis, then you mark the points on the mirror, that is the point pole and the center. You are required to make the object at C, so draw the object here at C. and then you are required to form a same size image at the center, but this image should be inverted. It means if this is my object AB, then the image which would be formed here, the image would be formed of the same size as the object. It would have the same size as the object has, and it would be inverted. So I have drawn that this kind of image I should be getting, and the image is labeled as A dash B dash. And now the image, this point is what? This is the center of the mirror. Now after drawing this, you can draw the light rays which are coming from the object. See how we'll draw it. The first light ray which is coming from the object, after reflection, it would pass through the focus. And the next light ray, if I tell you that it is coming to the pole, this is the fourth rule. When a light ray is incident towards the pole, it makes an equal angle with the pole as the angle of incidence. So if this is my angle of incidence, then with a similar angle, this light ray will pass. So this would be angle I, this would be angle R. And see, they are approximately equal. You do not have to measure the angles that they should be exactly equal. No, they should look equal. They should be approximately equal. And if you make this diagram, then see, both the light rays are intersecting at this point, and this gives you a correct diagram. There is no need of making everything, okay? So this is a trick, that is, draw the object, draw the image, wherever you want the image, and then make the light rays. So this would require a lesser practice compared to making drawing first the light rays and then drawing the image. And this would give you marks also. So because you need to practice these diagrams are based on experiments. You cannot say that whenever you made the diagram, you place the object at center, but whenever you made the diagram, the position of image is coming here before center. So this would be completely wrong, and you would get no marks, because experimentally when the object is at center, the image should be formed at center in a real and inverted manner, and your image is forming beyond or before center. So this is incorrect. So accordingly you have to make and adjust the lines that your image forms at the center itself. So this is a short method or a trick, you can say, which would be easier you to practice. That draw the object and draw the image and then make the lines. And these lines we cannot make on our wish. These I am making according to the rules of image formation which we discussed. There were 4 rules if you remember. The first one was, if you draw any light ray from the object and if the light ray is parallel to the principal axis, then after reflection it should pass through focus. Okay, the next rule was, if you are drawing any light ray which is coming from the object, and if you are passing this light ray from the focus, then after reflection it should become parallel to the principal axis. So accordingly only you have to do. And the third rule was, if a light ray is passing through the center, that is, if there is any light ray and this light ray is passing through the center, so after reflection it would go back on its original path. And the fourth rule is, if you draw any light ray coming from the object which is towards the pole, then measure this angle approximately, okay? And you have to draw a similar angle here. And this would give you the correct representation, that the light ray which strikes on pole, it makes an angle I with the pole. So after reflection also it would make an angle R, and this angle I and angle R, angle of incidence and reflection, would be approximately equal. If you draw like this, it would be correct, because see, angle of incidence and reflection are looking equal. But if in the diagrams you draw the light rays, that is, this is approximately angle of incidence, but you draw the angle of reflection like this. So see, this is the angle of incidence, I, but this is the angle of reflection. So they are not equal. Then this diagram would not be correct. So accordingly you have to make, you do not have to measure these exact angles. Roughly they should be similar when we look at the diagram. but these are not similar, they are very different, so you will not get any marks making these diagrams. So do practice all the diagrams. I hope you have understood, okay? So these, all the diagrams are given in your book. Then you have to remember the size and nature of image. This column I already told you, all the nature is real and inverted except the one. When the object is placed between pole and focus, you can see in the diagram. See, this is your pole of the mirror, this is the mirror, this is pole, this is focus. When you have the object between pole and focus, here two lines are drawn. I am drawing the similar diagram roughly here. This is the pole and this is the focus. Now you have the object AB between pole and focus. And when this object, the image should be formed behind the mirror and the image should be very larger in size. Enlarged image should be formed. So see here, one light ray is drawn, that the light ray which is striking with the pole, then it makes same angle with the pole. So one light ray is drawn here. The next light ray is drawn accordingly what? That this is the first light ray. Then you have one more rule, that when the light ray passes through the center, then it again follows its path back. So when we extend, see these light rays, if I extend them, they are not meeting. So they will appear to meet at a point, and this would give you your image. So when the object is placed, this is the object AB, when your object is placed between pole and focus, then the light rays actually do not meet. But when we extend these light rays, then they appear to meet behind the concave mirror, and the image is also enlarged. See, the object is smaller, image formed is enlarged in size, and the image is virtual and erect. You can see the image is erect, and I told you erect images, here you will consider all erect images as virtual and all the inverted images as real. Whereas virtual means what? Talking commonly or generally, virtual is which cannot be obtained on screen, and real is which can be obtained on screen. So this gives you this, you have to make diagram. The similar is being drawn here. So do practice today itself all these diagrams. Firstly learn this table and then you practice all the diagrams. So after 2 to 3 practice, you will be a master in drawing all these ray diagrams. Similarly, you have the ray diagrams for convex mirror. But the good thing is, you only have 2 cases for convex mirror. That is, firstly, when the object is placed at infinity, the image is formed at focus behind the mirror. Okay? Let's see, we can do this. Okay. See, we have our object to be at infinity. So for convex mirror, how you will draw, we will discuss. This is the convex mirror. The object is at infinity. Whenever the object is at infinity, see, dotted lines are being used. Light rays which are coming from the object, after reflection, they get diverged. Convex mirror is a kind of diverging mirror. But we say that the image, it forms at focus behind the mirror. The image is highly diminished, point size, virtual and erect. Remember, the nature of image for convex mirror is always virtual and erect. Whereas for concave mirror, you have the image formed to be real and inverted. Only in one single case, virtual and erect is formed, when the object is between F and P, pole and focus. But here, everywhere, you will have virtual and erect image. Remember, convex mirror is a kind of diverging mirror. That means the light rays will not meet, they appear to meet at a point. So if I draw the first diagram, then the first diagram would be what? I have to draw a convex mirror. For drawing a convex mirror, I have to paint the mirror from the inner surface, because I have only one reflecting surface, that is the outer reflecting surface. Then you have principal axis you have to draw. Then you have to label this point as the pole of mirror. Now you have to place the object as infinity. When the object is at infinity, just draw the dotted lines. And you know rules would be the same. When the light rays, they are parallel to principal axis, so after reflection, here they would get deflected or diverged. So you have similar light rays which are coming, and after reflection, they get diverged. These are the direction of light rays. Never forget to mention the arrows because it would deduct your marks, okay, if you forget. Then you have one more light ray, and after reflection, it gets diverged. Now next what? Actually, convex mirror is a diverging mirror. It means the light rays, they get scattered, they do not meet. But I have told you that they appear to meet at a point. And how would they appear is that these reflected light rays, what you have to do is, you have to trace them back. And when you trace them back, okay, trace them with a perfect dotted line. And when I make them, extend them backwards behind the mirror with the dotted line, then they appear to meet at a point, and this point is known as principal focus. So the first case of convex mirror, this is the diagram in front of you. When the light rays which are coming from infinity, which means you can show it by dotted lines, then when they strike the mirror, they get reflected and they get diverged. But when we extend these reflected rays, they appear to meet at focus, and then the image you can say is formed at focus. This image which is formed, it is highly diminished, it is very smaller in size, that is point size, and the image would be virtual and erect. If we see the next, whenever you place the object anywhere between infinity and pole, that is either at the center, either at the focus, beyond center, anywhere you can place between infinity and pole, which means this is the convex mirror, this is the pole of mirror, and here you have infinity very far away. So you can place anywhere. If you place the object between infinity and pole, always the image would be formed between pole and focus behind the mirror. Remember here, the important terms are everywhere the image is formed behind the mirror. And the image formed here is also diminished and virtual and erect. Diminished means it is smaller in size, and erect image you have to form. Likewise, you are placing the object. So this is clear that whenever we place the object anywhere, okay, you do not have to mention anything. Then the first incident light ray coming from the object, after reflection it gets scattered. The next light ray, why it is going on its path? Because it is extended to the center. So the light rays which pass through the center, they again trace back their path. And whenever you extend these light rays, then they meet where? See. These are the extension of two light rays. So they are meeting here at point A. So this would be your image formed. I hope this is clear. So these are the two cases. For convex mirror and for concave mirror, we have discussed 6 cases. And whenever you will learn the table first, then practice, then draw these diagrams. Firstly, see these diagrams, that are you able to understand accordingly to the table these diagrams. And once you understand these diagrams, then you try to make them. I hope after practicing and after this video lecture, it would be easier for you to understand and make the diagrams. Okay, I told you many tricks that how to make the diagrams. I told you that these all diagrams are based on experimentation. So make the object, make the image first, and then according to the 4 rules which we discussed, accordingly make the lines and try to intersect them at the required position according to the image formed. Then these are again the 2 ray diagrams. For concave you have 6, but for convex mirror you have only 2 cases. So learn them first, okay, and fastly you will be able to learn them. Then next, this was also a diagram for convex mirror. In convex mirror you can say the object is placed here, the object is at infinity, the image is formed at focus, and remember, always behind the mirror. This term is important. The image which is forming, it is always forming behind the mirror. Then you can say the size of image. So image is point sized and diminished. and then you have the nature of image. So convex mirror always forms virtual and erect images. So now I hope this concept is clear. So now we are going to discuss after ray diagrams. You have some topics which are sign convention. Then you have, in sign convention, we just have to discuss 4 points. It is very simple. This sign convention is therefore very important because you have to use the signs according to the sign convention in the numericals. Okay? We'll be discussing the numericals, then it would be clear enough. So after sign conventions, I'll be discussing mirror formula and then magnification. So these are the 3 topics which we are left with in the first part of the chapter, that is reflection. And then we'll move on to refraction of light. What is the basic definition? Why does refraction occurs? That is what causes the phenomena of refraction. Then you will be doing refraction of light through a glass slab. Question is frequently asked in examinations in boards that explain refraction of light through a glass slab. So you have to write the theory and you have to make a very proper diagram. And then you have lenses, power of lens, lens formula and everything. So let's discuss today a new topic which is sign convention. Sign convention is what? It enables you or it helps you to give the signs of various parameters which we'll be using here. So sign convention, let's suppose you have a mirror here and then you have a principal axis. Okay, this we have drawn a mirror, this we have drawn a principal axis. And then you know you have a Cartesian system or Cartesian coordinates. Just a second. Okay. So this what I have drawn a Cartesian system. Cartesian system means this is your positive x-axis, this you know is negative x-axis, the vertical axis is plus y, and then you have a minus y-axis downside. And when we place a mirror, then it is considered that the pole of the mirror, this is what the pole of the mirror, and we consider that pole of the mirror is present at a coordinate 0, 0. That is, you can say here that the pole of the mirror is assumed to be present at the origin point. Pole is present at the origin, that is at 0, 0. Now what we have is, you should know the direction of incident light. So we are considering that this is the direction of incident light or the incident rays which are coming from the object. Usually if you have focused on the ray diagrams, you should know that, or you have known that every time either a concave mirror we take or a convex mirror, we place the object towards the left hand side and then image is formed on the right hand side if we are talking for convex. So every time object is at left hand side of the mirror. So we say that from the object the light rays which are coming, they have the direction of right hand side. Okay. We are considering left hand side to right hand side direction. This direction I am taking to be right and this to be left direction. So if this is the direction of incident rays, then everything which you will be measuring in this direction would be taken as positive, and everything which you will be measuring in the opposite direction would be considered as negative. Okay, when we'll do the questions, you will remember that, let's suppose if I give you an example, this is your object. If I tell you what is the distance of the object from the pole, then the distance of object from the pole can be positive also, negative also, based on either it is a concave mirror or a convex mirror. In this condition, how can you say if this is the direction of incident light, distance of the object we are measuring from the pole is 0, 0. So the object would have, the object distance which is shown by you here would be negative, because you are moving to the negative x-axis and direction of light is towards the right, but you are measuring the distance backwards, so it would give you a negative object distance, a negative value of small u. Small u here shows object distance, and all the length or all the distances which are measured in that same direction of incident light, they are considered to be positive. Next is what? Next is about the height. All the heights, all the things which are present above the principal axis, their height is taken to be positive, because see, they are present at plus y axis, and everything which is present below the principal axis, these are taken to be negative in height. So you can easily remember that according to the Cartesian system, plus and minus x, plus and minus y, you have to decide their directions. Okay? Whatever you are taking, let's suppose you are considering a convex mirror, you are placing the object here and the image formed is here. Here you have, this is your object, this is your image. So object distance is towards what? Is towards the minus x-axis. So this distance you will take to be negative. Image distance is towards the plus x-axis. So you will be taking the image distance to be positive. Both the height of object and height of image, they are in the positive y-axis direction. So this height would also be positive and this height would also be positive here. So accordingly, this is the sign convention. Okay, now you are given theoretical rules in your books. 4 to 5 rules are there, you can read it. What it is written in the rules, that all the first rule is, all the distances measured in the same direction of incident light are taken positive. It means whatever you are measuring in the direction of incident light, if this direction and the measurement direction is same, then you calculate the value to be positive. Second rule says that all the distances which are measured in the opposite direction of incident light are taken as negative. And the other two rules are, all the distance measured above the principal axis are taken to be with positive height and below ones are taken to be with negative height. So this is the sign convention. Okay, we'll stop our class here today. And in the next class, we'll be continuing with other topics like the mirror formula, magnification, and then we'll be moving on to the concept of refraction. So thank you for joining today's class. If you have any sort of queries, you can contact us anytime. Till then, stay home, stay safe, and please do practice today the ray diagrams which we have dealt with. Thank you and keep following us.